Today we're in Georgetown, Colorado, getting ready to take on Mount Bierstadt, one of the 54 14ers in Colorado.
14ers is how we refer to our mountains over 14,000 feet here in Colorado.
So come along as we tackle Mount Bierstadt and see if it's a good one for first-timers.
The trailhead to Mount Bierstadt is only a little over an hour from Denver, which makes it a very popular first 14er for a lot of people. There is only really one trail to the top, and it's here off of Guanella Pass Road. The summit of Mount Bierstadt is 14,065 feet, and the trailhead is just over 11,300. So it's about 2,700 feet in elevation gain to get to the summit, and that is a 7.2 mile out and back trail.
Yeah, so it's got a relatively short elevation gain and distance for a 14er here in Colorado, and that's just another reason that it's very popular to make it your first 14er to bag.
The summit and most of the trail are in the Mount Evans Wilderness, and so you might read that you need to have a permit to hike. And what I had read in researching was that it's just a free registration permit that you can fill out at the trailhead. But now that we're here, we actually can't find any sign of a place to do that. So I guess we're just going to go ahead and hike. So we camped at Clear Lake Campground, which is about 15 minutes down the road from the trailhead, and it is 4:30, and we are headed back up to the trailhead. You can see the frosty boardwalk.
It is 5:21 and it's now just enough light to start getting video.
So we're about a mile in. We've made that pretty quick because the first mile sort of lulls you into a sense of security. It's pretty flat. It's actually a little downhill. It's wide. It's pretty smooth. Lots of boardwalks. There was one little creek crossing. It's a very pleasant and pretty easy first mile. And now I think we are starting to head on the up portion. Just getting passed by some people on their morning run.
Weather elevations like this can be unpredictable, so it's kind of a rule of thumb that you want to be up and back by noon. Is kind of how we do it here in Colorado, I'd say. Today there's a chance of even earlier bad weather, so we got up extra early and hit the trail.
The views out this morning are definitely gorgeous up here. It's a beautiful morning. We are just past mile 2. It really takes a turn about a mile and a half where you hit your first steep section and then you're just going up, but it's a really nice trail. Since we are at mile 2, I had an original plan since the thunderstorms are predicted to come in early today, even as early as like 9:30 or 10. So we started at 5 o'clock and I was thinking we could do the first 2 miles in an hour because the first part is pretty easy, and then I thought an hour for each of the other miles to get to the top in 3 and then back down in 2. Daryl thought it was a little ambitious, and I can tell you at mile 2 that we're already a little bit behind.
So we think we're at about mile 3. It's definitely starting to get steep, feeling like that deep ascent to the peak.
Yeah, it's been gradual up until about maybe 2.5 miles. It's more of a ramp and not huge steps, and now it's definitely getting rockier and bigger steps, and we'll see. I anticipate there'll be at least a little bit of scrambling as we get closer to the top. Maybe need to use the hands, but we'll see.
Yeah, we have a pretty slow but steady pace going, so it's making it manageable.
Yeah, we're about 2 hours in right now, so we're actually back on my little planned pace.
Well, see, there we go.
We'll see. Get a little slower every mile.
Yeah, and then we'll just run down.
Yeah, yep, that's definitely the plan, sure. It's about 7:30 and we are getting our first glimpse of the sun up over the summit ridge, and I'm hoping that maybe the sun will bring a little bit more warmth. It's still a little cool. Looks like we're coming up to like a little ridge, and it opens up into more of a boulder field kind of area, and then it looks like we have got a little steeper area that's coming up here that will take us up to the summit.
So making your way through a boulder field can be tricky because it's easy to lose the trail. Usually there's rock cairns that kind of are like little lighthouses to keep you in the direct path of where you want to go.
Made it. We're here.
How do you feel?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like I did some things. There's less air here. It's still a nice morning. It's a good day. It took us about 3 hours, and according to my watch, it's just under 4 miles to get here.
Yeah, we are at the top. We had to sort of duck down to one side to get away from the wind, but feeling pretty good now that we're here. Yeah.
And the weather's still looking pretty good, so it's a little after between 8 and 8:30, and so hopefully we still have plenty of time for maybe a leisurely hike back.
Yeah. It'll be a little more sun, warm us up, because right now it's pretty chilly up here.
Pretty chilly and quite windy. Well, actually, for a 14er, not that windy, but
it all depends where you're at.
Breezy.
But yeah, yeah, wind is guaranteed on top of a mountain, of course. Yeah. All right.
It was a good hike, and we're happy to be here.
Time to head back down.
Yep. Got the glider?
Yeah. The gondola.
The gondola.
No, just one step at a time.
So we're back in town and we've showered and we've had some food, so we're feeling a little more like ourselves and ready to talk about the trail a little more. So as far as whether we think Bierstadt is a good first 14er, we do. I think it's a pretty reasonable distance, that 7 to 8 miles. It took us 6.5 hours. Not too horrible of an elevation gain, and it doesn't have any of those real steep exposed areas like some 14ers do. So it's a little more user friendly in that way.
Yeah, another great thing about Bierstadt is it's really easy to get to. It's close to Georgetown. The road to it's paved. It's a nice drive. Guanella Pass is a nice drive. Georgetown is just 45 minutes away from Denver. Denver has an airport, so it's really easy to get to if you're coming from somewhere else.
Absolutely. So, so if you have experience with some of Colorado's 14ers and you have another recommendation for people who are coming and trying out their first 14er, we would love to hear about that in the comments. If you've hiked Bierstadt and you have some thoughts, we absolutely love to get comments and to interact with everybody who's watching our videos. So thank you for watching.
Yeah, and hopefully this video was helpful, and until the next one,
Enjoy your travels.
thanks.